The first thing they say isn't a question, it's a demand. They don't try to understand the situation or explain what's wrong. They just ask for personal information, as if filming automatically makes someone suspicious. Calling filming strange doesn't make it illegal. That's just an opinion, not a legal reason. Using the current global climate as an excuse to demand details also doesn't work. General fears don't create legal grounds in a specific moment.
Can I take your details?
Am I obliged to?
Well, obviously with the current climate and you're acting a bit strangely filming the police station.
No, I just told you what I'm doing. Photography's not a crime. I'm sat here, I'm waiting to get some pictures of a police car going in and out of the police station to finish off a story that I've been working on.
Yeah,
so I'm not obliged to give you my details because I haven't broken any laws.
Do you mind not getting that in my face?
Well, it's not in your face and you came up to me, so...
Yeah, because you're filming the police station.
Well, that's not against the law though, is it?
No, but it's suspicious, strange behaviour.
It is quite suspicious.
No, I don't think it is. And terrorism or current climate has nothing to do with it. Terrorism in Waterlooville, I don't think so.
It can happen anywhere, and it would cause us concern that you're sat here constantly filming a police station.
Well, why are you saying constantly?
Because
I've been sat here for 20 minutes waiting for a car to come round the corner to go into the police station, which is what I wanted to capture.
Which we did.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I'd expect you to stop.
Yeah, you continued to film.
Because you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
And left. If that was
because you got out of the car and then you started walking over here.
Reframing it as a friendly introduction doesn't match the body language. The notebook is open, the pen is ready, and they go straight to personal information without even a proper greeting. That's not how a normal conversation starts. It looks more like they're preparing to record details. The explanation feels like something said later to make the moment look better on camera. Then the situation escalates. Instead of explaining a clear reason, the other officer leaves to speak with a sergeant and comes back suggesting terrorism legislation. That kind of jump says a lot. When officers can't clearly explain their authority, escalation often becomes the fallback. And if a supervisor supports that step, it suggests a deeper problem with how the situation is being handled.
Now you just turned yours on.
Mine's on already.
All right, well that's fine.
Yes.
Well, that's fine. You're recording me and I'm recording you. But I'm not obliged to give you my details because I haven't broken any laws. Okay? And being suspicious is not a crime either.
You can appreciate though, given the current climate and terrorism being an issue, you are sat here.
There's no terrorism in Waterlooville. Yeah. Oh, and understand why you come over to speak to me, but coming over and like, oh, we'll get your details, blah blah blah, is I'm not obliged to do that.
Obviously, I'm engaging in a conversation with you.
Yeah. And I told you what I was.
I'm PC Morris.
I told you what I was doing.
Waterlooville Police Station. All I asked was for your details. You could introduce yourself.
I explained to you what I was doing.
And I understand that. All I asked was for your details, for your name.
No, you don't need my name.
No?
No, because
okay,
you stick it in your computer and it stays there forever.
It's not that it was honestly from me to engage in a conversation with you. Appreciate it for the conversation.
Right. I've just spoken to my sergeant as well.
Yeah.
Under the Terrorism Act, with the current climate as severe and the way you're acting, I will need your details.
No.
The logic falls apart here. Instead of showing a legal reason first, they act like refusing to give details creates the offense. That's not how arrest powers work. Refusing to answer questions doesn't automatically give police grounds to act. The legal grounds must already exist. Saying they can take recording equipment just because someone won't give their name also shows a misunderstanding of seizure powers. Officers need clear legal authority and a real reason, not just frustration. And when the notebook comes out again, the real priority becomes clear. The focus doesn't seem to be on any specific crime. It looks more like they just want to fill in a name on the page.
Please provide me
I'm not obliged to give you my details because I haven't broken the law.
Recording equipment if you are filming the police station under the current climate severe. Okay.
That's not. It's not. That's
anyone watching your videos.
You can't seize my equipment.
Anyone watching your videos that you are currently say you're live streaming.
Yeah.
Will probably agree that under terrorism at the moment, with the risk as it is.
Well, this is live streaming because if you take my phone, it's not on my phone.
I'm explaining to you. Yeah, I'm explaining to you the reasons why I'm speaking to you, and all I am requesting for is your details. I'm not going to.
I'm not obliged to give. I've not broken no laws.
If you don't give us your details, it gives us grounds to arrest.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's unlawful arrest. No, that is unlawful arrest.
Failure to give a name.
I've not broken no laws, so that would be an unlawful arrest.
Under the Terrorism Act, I'm requiring your name and address because of your behaviour.
The Terrorism Act.
It says a lot that Pinocchi brings the written law while the officers rely on memory and assumptions. When he shows the wording, the discussion should restart because the facts are right there on paper. Instead, one officer tries to change the argument by saying the station isn't a public place. But the key point is location. Pinocchi is standing in an area where the public is allowed, so that claim doesn't really hold. Then comes the comment that quoting the law isn't his job. That line reveals the problem. If officers are using legal powers, they should understand and explain the law behind them.
I've actually got written permission to sit here and do this.
Right, well, why didn't you tell us that? Can you show us that, please?
Where's your written permission?
That's not a public place.
Police station. A police station's not a public place.
Well, it's still paid for by the public, isn't it?
It's not a public place though. Under the
well,
definition
where I am is a public place.
You're right there.
And I'm allowed to film anything I can see from a public place.
Within reason, but if your actions go beyond that and are suspicious...
Well, my actions aren't going beyond that. I've told you exactly what I'm doing. It's to finish off the end of my social experiment blog that I was making.
Well, you're still filming now, so it's...
I'm filming now for my own protection.
Protection from what?
From you. You're standing there threatening to arrest me under terrorism.
No, I'm asking for your name and details.
Which I'm not obliged to give you unless I've been arrested for a crime.
I don't feel like we've given you any cause for concern about our behaviour.
Well, he's threatening to arrest me under the Terrorism Act, which you couldn't even quote to me.
He's not threatening
I'm not going to quote every part of the law.
You're telling me by me not giving you my details,
that's not my job.
You told me by me not giving you my details is an arrestable offence, which it isn't.
Her response misses the point. Just because the law doesn't clearly say filming is allowed doesn't mean it's illegal. The law works the opposite way. In public places, people are generally free to record what they can see unless a specific rule says they can't, that there's no general law that bans filming a building just because someone inside doesn't like it. When that argument fails, the attention shifts to his behavior. But being confident about your rights or asking questions doesn't make something suspicious. Staying calm isn't a crime, and asking for clarification isn't obstruction. Calling it defensive is just another way to justify their discomfort.
Which it isn't.
Which is what you've just
I am perfectly entitled to sit here and film a police station from a public space. In fact, I can even give you the law on photography. There you go.
It says that you do not need a permit to film or
no, I don't.
In a public place. It doesn't say anything about filming or taking photographs of a place that isn't public. Photography on private land is not restricted if the landowner has given permission.
I'm on public land.
Yeah, but
I can still.
The fact that you're filming a police station, which is not
from. That's not a house, though, is it?
No, but it's not a public place.
Yeah, but if someone wants to stand outside my house in the public and film it, they're allowed to do that by law.
No,
there is no law that's. No, there's no law. No, there's not.
Right.
No, there's not.
After there's permission from one of the bosses in there.
I don't need permission to film the police station from a public space.
As I said, my sususpicions are about your behaviour. It's all very strange.
What's suspicious about my behaviour? Do you think I'm a terrorist?
You're not talking to
Have I got any bombs in my bag?
You're quite defensive about the fact that
yes, because you've come over here to stop me. You're trying to stop me from filming.
When one officer admits he's within his rights, that should have ended the situation. Instead, the reason changes again. This time claiming officer safety because he filmed vehicle plates. But that argument doesn't hold up. Police cars drive on public roads, and their plates are visible to anyone nearby. Anyone walking, driving, or standing close can see them. A license plate isn't secret information. It's meant to be seen by the public. You can't suddenly treat something that's openly visible every day as sensitive just because someone records it.
I'm finishing my blog.
You wouldn't even provide me an
well, that's because I don't need to.
All this amounts
Because I'm not obliged to give you my name, that's
You're
why.
not obliged.
Well,
However,
exactly.
when I approached you to engage in a conversation, and you were quite defensive.
I actually didn't want a conversation. If you had just gone into the police station, I would have left because I got the footage that I wanted.
Yeah, but you can understand that obviously, given the fact that you're sat here filming a police station, it's quite concerning for us.
Why?
For officer safety.
What am I going to do?
You're
What
about
officer
to publish
safety?
a video showing the registration plate of police cars in a police station.
They're in public all day, every single day. Police cars. There's no privacy in public. That's why there's CCTV cameras, millions of them all around the country. So I don't think your colleague really should stand there and threaten to take away my camera equipment.
He didn't threaten to take
Yes, he
away your
did.
camera equipment.
Yes, he did. It's on camera. Is this a threat?
Calling it a stop and account afterward doesn't fix the situation. That type of interaction is only meant to be brief and voluntary. It doesn't give officers the power to demand personal details. If there was no clear reason to question him, using that label doesn't suddenly create one to the officer's surprise when court is mentioned is also telling. Any arrest or seizure must be able to stand up in court. That's the normal standard for using those powers, that if someone talks about detention or taking equipment, they have to be sure the decision can be legally defended later, not just justified on the street.
You're trying to scare me into, I don't want my phone to be taken. So in order for me to give up my details that I'm not obliged to give you.
If you didn't believe that we wouldn't be able to seize your phone, why would you be recording live to a cloud so that when your phone is taken?
Oh, when my phone's taken?
Well, that's what you said.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
when my phone's... That's why I'm recording to the cloud and not onto my phone.
You said that you record so that if somebody takes your phone,
yep,
that the videos aren't there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I've still got my evidence, because I can't get your evidence off of your camera if this goes to court for me to get all my camera equipment back.
Why would you assume this is going to go to court?
Because if you're going to take my camera equipment, then it's going to go to court, isn't it? Why
would you assume we were going to take?
Because you would have unlawfully arrested me and unlawfully taken my camera equipment. You're trying to scare me into giving you my details that I'm not obliged to give you. I'm not obliged to give you my details. Well, I don't need to account. I'm sat here doing something perfectly lawful from a public space.
The clearest turning point in this exchange comes when Pinocchio asks a simple question. Am I detained? The officer answers no, and that answer matters. If someone is not detained, they're free to leave. It's a basic legal rule. But when Pinocchio begins to walk away, the tone suddenly changes. The officers start talking about having the power to stop him and even mention arrest based on unclear suspicion. This creates a clear contradiction. Legal powers do not switch on and off depending on whether someone decides to walk away. Either there's a lawful reason to detain someone, or there isn't. Throughout the encounter, serious powers were mentioned casually. Arrest was brought up without a specific offense. Seizing his equipment was suggested without clear legal authority. Even terrorism laws were mentioned as a possible justification. These powers are not meant to be used loosely. Arrest, detention, and seizure all require clear legal conditions. In the end, Pinocchio simply walks away because there was nothing legally holding him there. No offense was identified, no detention was properly established, and no solid legal basis was presented. The officers talked about power, but the legal foundation behind it never appeared.
The Terrorism Act and threat and trying to intimidate me.
Giving their details is a necessity that we can use for an arrest.
By making me think he's going to take away my camera equipment.
He didn't say that it was a threat that he was going to arrest you at all.
Okay. Am I being detained?
Sorry?
Am I being detained?
No, it's merely a stop and count. I mean, if you do leave, obviously we do have powers.
Are you going to use those powers if I leave then? Because you just said I'm not being detained, so I'm free to go.
You're not being detained.
So am I free to go?
And by all means, if you do leave, it does mean that we would be able to use powers to arrest you on the grounds of suspicion of an offence.
What offence?
My colleague is speaking to my sergeant at the moment.
So am I free to go?
That's obviously your decision.
And I'm not being detained?
That's obviously your decision.
And I'm free to leave? Am I free to leave? What's that mean?
As I've just explained to you, it's a stop and account.
Have I broken any laws?
At the moment, you are filming a police station.
That's not breaking the. That's not breaking the law.
Which is why me and my colleague came over to speak to you.
That's not breaking the law, though, is it?
As I explained to you, my colleague has basically gone to speak to my sergeant to discuss.
Right. Are you detaining me here?
I'm not detaining you.
Right. So am I free to leave?
I would suggest you didn't leave.
Am I free to leave?
I would suggest you didn't leave.
Why?
I would suggest that you didn't leave.
Why?
I have answered your question. What you do next is up to you.
Well, I know what next is up to me, but you just said I'm not being detained, so therefore I'm free to leave because I've broken no laws.
The next move is yours. I've asked you to wait.
Okay, I don't want to wait. I'm going to leave and I'm going to go home. Okay?
The clearest turning point in this exchange comes when Pinocchio asks a simple question. Am I detained? The officer answers no, and that answer matters. If someone is not detained, they're free to leave. It's a basic legal rule. But when Pinocchio begins to walk away, the tone suddenly changes. The officers start talking about having the power to stop him and even mention arrest based on unclear suspicion. This creates a clear contradiction. Legal powers do not switch on and off depending on whether someone decides to walk away. Either there's a lawful reason to detain someone or there isn't. Throughout the encounter, serious powers were mentioned casually. Arrest was brought up without a specific offense. Seizing his equipment was suggested without clear legal authority. Even terrorism laws were mentioned as a possible justification. These powers are not meant to be used loosely. Arrest, detention, and seizure all require clear legal conditions. In the end, Pinocchio simply walks away because there was nothing legally holding him there. No offense was identified, no detention was properly established, and no solid legal basis was presented. The officers talked about power, but the legal foundation behind it never appeared.